Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Your energy is very important here, your energy signatures with anchoring these light codes and embodying the light codes all at once. It's an interesting process. This has been such a process for me with the light codes, and I'm really starting to see a pattern now as when I do light codes, I bring in, I kind of go and look at some of the other ones. And I'm seeing this pattern happening now. They're building on top of each other, which makes sense because you know how we, and many of us see light codes bombarding us. It's like so many coming in, but these are light codes that are new creational light codes that are coming through like a mother energy through me to, and I don't see them. I just kind of feel them and draw them. But those who have not joined before, it will be, I will go through light codes that have come through, and then I will seal those with light language after that. And so I'm going to do this a little bit different than I've done in the past. Before I've done like, I have interaction between the light codes, but with the energy and some of the changes happening, what I'm going to do is go through all the light codes, and I'll leave a little time at each one so you have time to sort of absorb the energy or feel into it. And then I'll go to the next one, and I'll say a few things about it. And then after that, we'll seal with a light language. And those, I think everybody's probably heard light language before, but light language is always meant to be received through the heart. Just give up any expectations and just allow yourself to receive it after you take some deep breaths. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Most of you have been on here before. All right.
Hey, Christy.
Yeah.
This is Becca. Do you know where your particular light language comes from? Is it a certain race, and do you know, I'm assuming it's all love and light kind of thing?
Well, it's what I've been guided to is that it's the original light language, which is like the original tongue, I guess, and it is a mother tongue. So, I have a little saying in my website where it's as old as, let there be light, the whole saying of, you were a spark in the universe and all of a sudden there was this light, and that's how old it is. So I do believe that the light language that comes through, actually there's a few different ones that come through, but they're all like mother energy. In terms of race, I think it's just like a primordial type of mother energy. I don't know. I probably used it like Arcturian. I probably used it when I was at Arcturian and some other races, but yeah, that's what I know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I had a question. I forgot, I didn't get a chance to read the post that I clicked on to get into this meeting. So I was wondering, what is the focus of tonight's meeting?
Yeah, the focus is our physicality, actually. Yeah, it's come through big for me and for the collective. So I think I mentioned a little earlier before maybe all you were on, but in January, it was like probably dark night of the soul for me, I believe January was. But it all went back to my to the physicality of my being and having a lot of anxiety around it and wondering what was going on. And also the saying that has come through, which is right behind me, when you leave your heart, you leave your elemental body. So this has come up also within this time frame, and it's connected me into the elementals and the process that actually a new technology that is going to help us through connecting back into the elementals through our body, because that is what we've kind of left. Now, I'm not saying we haven't come back into our hearts now, because we have so much, but there's some lingering residue, I want to say, that this technology, I think, will help with today with these light codes. So anything else? All right. Okay, so with that, I'm just going to share screen here and we're going to start. Let's see. Okay, I'm calling this the new organic technology that's called forth for the physical body realignment with Earth elemental herself and the elementals through the cellular structure. So the cellular structure, DNA, I know through past life codes and past lives that a lot of work that I had done was with our DNA. So this is all related to that as well in our cellular structure, which the DNA is all a part of that. So we're going to be like anchoring the light codes and then sealing with the mother tongue, which is interesting. It's the first time I've called it the mother tongue. I don't know, that just came through, but the light language, Monica, you asked earlier, what I call the one that comes through is called the universal language of love, light language.
Nice.
But yeah, this is interesting that this like mother tongue is like, where'd that come from? So here we go. Okay, so we have some color frequencies that have come through for this as well. And the colors are the kind of aquamarine color, cobalt, gold, purple, and fuchsia or magenta rather. So these are colors. You may see these colors or you may see other colors as well, but these are the color frequencies that have come up. Okay, I'm bringing for this light code. This light code is actually from a past series that I did on at the Lionsgate group gathering. I knew it was to be used another time, and what this one is called DNA restructuring closed circuit. So what came through on this light code was it's a part of our crystallizing process that's happening. So I see this side as the crystal componentry to like close our circuitry in our DNA, where we can now plug in, reconnect. And when I thought of the crystal, also the crystal, you know, how do we have crystallinity in our body? And it's because we have water in our body and the water crystallizes. So, and also with all these codes that are coming through, I also got a hit that our water content is in our bodies is increasing right now. Okay, so this is the new technology that came through. This is called the mother load. Interesting name, but that is what came through with this technology. So this technology is what's being introduced now to assist us in this process that we'll get into here. But, you know, it's part of this technology. There's this realization in our cellular structure that we have held on to so much, and that, you know, we're in the process of releasing things, but there is, I want to call it like lower energy forms that through lifetimes after lifetimes, it could have been a technology. It could have been how our DNA was changed, altered. But this technology, what I'm understanding or is coming through is it's going to help us and help us to release that component. And that's the part that we hang on to, and it affects our physicality. And we may not know it. Like for me, I've been so questioned with, you know, things going on in my physicality. And I've questioned it, and I can't get to the bottom of it. And so this has come through to assist that physical component within our cellular structure, all due, you know, to those energies that we've held on to for so many lifetimes. And one of the things that came through was like, we entered this earth plane in these bodies, and we were kind of like, oh geez, you know, we have so many limits here in these bodies compared to, you know, how we came in, because we came in with all of our light. And that was, slowly over time, things changed. And so we're coming full circle. So that's how I see it. I see that we're coming back to, okay, we've been through all that. We've adjusted to our body, yet we've left out the elemental components of our body because we've left our heart. So now we're coming back into that phase, and we're feeling the rejection of our body in some way, some form, perhaps, or there's something that could be going on, or there's an energy that may be holding us, subduing us into, not recognition of our full light. So this is the technology. And this is also, when I look back at so many other light codes, this has been like a building. This has been building up. So there's other light codes that came through that are creating these energies, and these are just stacking on top of each other and creating now this new technology called the mother lode. And with that technology came, because it is all around our cellular structure, which, our DNA and genes are all in our cells. This is, it's called the cell trinity master coders. So this light code has to do with what I just spoke about. It's these master coders that are coming into our cells, are already a part of our cells, but there's an energy that's forming them. I can't tell you the science behind it, but that's what's come through, that these are assisting us through that technology to assist our cellular structure in adjusting back into our bodies, and recognizing that we've got that residual that we can release now. And it's funny, I'm going to tell you one funny thing. When this was coming through, I was drawing this part, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's three little genies on this like flying rug or something. It's the weirdest thing. It just came through, and I could not stop laughing. That these little guys, because these are some kind of beings, I don't know, but they're sitting on this like triangle, and this is like a resonator underneath them. So I don't know how all this works, but it is a fifth, I think it's probably beyond fifth dimensional technology. And when you see the light codes, one thing about it is that you see it in a 2D format. It's an image, so you see it two-dimensional. Yet these light codes are multi-dimensional, so they just keep going. Some people can see this. I mean, they just keep going. I mean, this is a simplified version of what they truly are. I mean, they're extremely complex in the way that they look.
So, Christy, are we receiving the frequency of it by looking at it, or what do you think? Or how does that work?
Well, it's basically light codes. You just as light language, you take it in, and your higher self will take it in for what is necessary for you, what components of it are necessary for you. So it's just about just receiving.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oops. Okay. So this one, you might have seen this one. This one is probably 3 years old, actually. And 2 years ago, I was called to redraw it because when I first started light codes, they were, I hand drew them. And I thought, God, there's got to be a better way. So then I came up with this. My team helped me with this strategy with finding images which would call out to me. And I knew I have an image library right now. These images would call out to me. I know at some point they will be used. But anyway, this one came forth with this. This is the beginning of the elementals. This actual one is called oxygen. And I call this the fifth element. Oxygen is the fifth element. Some people might want to call it oxygen, but it has a structure that's related to the elements, related to our bodies, how we are one within the elements. Hard to describe, but if you look at it, that's the good thing about some, you can see sometimes in the light codes, you can see it kind of a linear component of it, even though it's not linear. But here, all the elements are in here. Like this is earth, this is air, fire, water, and oxygen. So without oxygen, you can't have any of the other elements. And that's what has been affected. We've been affected by somehow, whether the technology, I don't know what has, the dark, whatever you want to call it. There has been some kind of reduction of the fifth element. So now it's coming back in. And the elements that are behind this that I'm showing you now. This is, so now we're going to go through the other four elements, and these are light codes, new light codes that are coming in for the elements. This is all new. This is all new creation. It's not ancient. It's just new. This is part of our creational energy here. So this symbol is air. And with air and with all the elements, the four directions are very important. And so I represent, you actually can kind of see it on some of the others too, but this with the air itself, that is a huge component of the four directions. So this is now the new earth element, the element of air. This is the element of water. And again, it's the new element of water. So again, with the energies, with the combining our physicality back into our heart, coming into our heart is a part of the mother lode technology coming through and connecting us back in our cellular structure, connecting us back with the elements cellular structure, because that's where we came from. One of the things that I've heard so often is we're not our bodies. That's probably the worst thing I feel like somebody could be told, because we are souls within our bodies, but that kind of goes into a rejection of our bodies. And that's what I feel like this is all kind of about, which is the lower frequency technology that had us sort of reject our bodies. And that's where
chips.
That's where disease has come through, and illness and so forth. So I think somebody might need to mute. So, okay. Let's see. So again, the water element. Okay, this is the fire element and the new coding for the fire element. Again, our physicality connecting into the elementals. I've kind of gone in order of air and water. Those two are closely connected, and then fire and earth, those two are connected. Fire is south, earth is north. Again, we're going into the directions. Air is east and water is west. And if you'll notice, there's this symbolism in all the light codes in some form, which is the DNA. So we're totally connected to the earth, to the elementals. So we're reconnecting with this technology, the mother lode technology.
Christy, what do you think that top, keep staring at the very top middle with the blue, like a thread going around that and going up out the head like it's a private person or something, but what do you make of that? Anything?
DNA.
Okay.
Yeah. DNA.
Oh, got it.
And also when you see a flame, the blue component of it is it's like the DNA.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
interesting.
I'm
Each of the light codes, let me just go back real quickly so each of the light codes have that sort of form in some way of DNA, because we're connecting back with these elements. This is what when we leave our heart, we leave the body elemental. The body elemental is the earth elemental, which is connected into all the elements or elementals, the elementals and the elements. So we're plugging back in now through these light codes. Going to the fire. Okay. And if you notice also in all of the light codes, they are connected to the oxygen. If the oxygen is the fifth element, which I see it as something that's been subdued or during this time that we've lived on Earth, and now it's coming back into play. And as we renew the elements, as we renew ourselves. And then the last one is the earth elemental. She's a star. Oops, whoopsie. The earth elemental. Another thing that has come through with this is reversal in time space. So as I said, we kind of done this full circle. As when we came to Earth in our bodies, we kind of rejected our bodies because they were so limited. And now as we end this cycle, this completion, we're kind of back to where we were, which was kind of in a rejection mode. And everybody might not feel this. I personally have, in a sense, and maybe it's subdued. Some people don't realize it, but there's wondering what's going on, or why things are the way they are, having physical issues. Of course, we're all having ascension things going on too. But I feel like we've gone this full circle, and once we adjust back into these bodies as we started, and accepting the earth, accepting the elementals as part of who we are, then we come back into our light, our full light, our whole body. And also Lemuria and especially Atlantis have come up as well. Because Atlantis was the last stage at where we really did a number on the earth. And, we also may carry the guilt about that. So, we're releasing all that, coming back into the elementals, fully accepting that's who we are. That's why we're here. And they're a part of us, even our cellular structure. They have DNA as well. So it's all connected. Okay. There's some sounds that have come through. They're on my website. If any of you saw that, you might have already seen them. But they have been a big part of this connection. like reconnection or connection. I've had like 3 things come through about connection. But the sounds are doshta, sada, and then nahe, ahe. And so what that has come about with that sound is that completion is freedom. Freedom is openness. Openness is connection, and connection is back to the heart. Okay, I'm going to go into some light language now.
Hey, Christy, are you okay with leaving up that last one while you do the light language, or do you not?
Sure.
I know one time you did that, so I didn't know if that was
I can sure do that. Yeah.
cool. Thank you so much.
Okay, leave this one up. Okay, so everybody can just do some gentle breathing and just prepare themselves and just to receive. We're going to seal these light codes. That's part of this process, is anchoring them and sealing them. Your energies are all playing a role in this. We'll see who comes through. Ijtapaha namaketa pakuna ijtapaha namaketa. To janama la kote e jatapekata unahi he 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 atapakun ijtapaha. Tunama alla ujtapaha iti anamakuna jata. Tujda. Tijda. Ona e ata orjo tapeqen ma alakuni ijda ujda aqi in maqaita uni ijda tuta jutaqai. Nahieta huna jata peka ai tai ai tai ai 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 tai jata ta 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 jata ta 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 jata ta 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 jata ta 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 jata ta 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 jata ta 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 I usta ista na eta na ena makuni jata ya namayana. Nahe atapakuna ijatapaka eta 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 usta ijda eta 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 jeta tu ta jona maha takun dijatahin maheta ut ijta ta 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 ta. Nalaku na ijata parahin na makaya taya 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 taya. Nayata. No hiata hai. Tu jata parahin na maalaku uti ijta ita ti ijta Nonna ijda ataqin makuna ijda atai tapa uda ijda ijda uda ita ata ijda inama ita unianamaka jai kan mahala kuni ijda peke ita ajatape inama kuni ijda Tuna majeta, jeta, 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 jeta. Nama aka. Tuni ani irdok itak na kina kaya kay. Di iya 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 da iya. Na jata beka. No nayata nayata naijda Jannama alla ku uti ijata peka namake uta jonna alla ijpeka namaha tu ajata peka namaha ti ijda inmehe nama aka ni ijada anaha namaka aita nama onahi jata peka no Ниже тапаком. Ита, 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 ита. Штапа. Онамеха. Ту. Да, ашта. Намако. Ни изда. До изда бака. Ти ида аха. До изда ай. Най. На анна изота. Tu te paies ou je te paie à terre. J'en ai hâte, tirer, desde para acá, no, Okay, everybody's back. So this time, if anybody wants to share, I kind of wanted all that to happen at the end here instead of going through it. So any experiences or any thoughts or visions or feelings? That's the biggest thing, feelings.
Kind of felt like a freight train. That was incredible. How are you feeling after that? Seriously, I don't even know what that was, but my heart pounding and energy just going crazy. I'm definitely going to have to sit and integrate for probably, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes after we hang up. That was incredible, Christy.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that mother load graphic, what is that? I don't even know what that was. And
I
that last
know that's it.
two.
Yeah, some technology that the AI is working with our cells, so that might have been, that it's like restructuring our body. Is like something happening in our body. Yeah, it's really
Definitely, I feel like this is one of the more powerful light language sessions you've done, for me personally anyway. For
yeah,
what, just energetically, just incredible. Yeah, thank you.
yeah. Thank you, thank you.
My heart's been pounding too.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Christy.
Yeah.
There's so much. Oh my gosh, like so much. And I'm getting ready to move out of my house, and so I invited people over, and they came
Oh,
right
wow.
at the beginning. Like, so you have a bigger audience here, and there's more in the kitchen. And I was like, okay, if you're not familiar with light language, just like sit down and I'll explain it.
Yeah.
Like, but we had a call this morning, and I put it in the chat that the guidance we got was that the elements get called in, but the fifth element is the ethereal, the etheric. And so in the call this morning, they were infusing the etheric specifically with the fire. So it was like this molten lava kind of thing. And when you put up that mother lode photo, I was like, whoa, like, you're like, this is the mother lode. I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, I was like, it literally took my breath away. Like, it was like, wow, you know, and it instantly like was a lot to take on and familiar at the same time, and then I was guided to get my crystal ball, which is like the container of, and it also represents kind of the earth, like it's, so I wanted to have it for that energy. And then there was something else. I was feeling a lot like tingly here, like in the crown, and kind of going down, like it was kind of going down my spine or going down my system. There was something else, but I forget, and I'll come back to it if I remember it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Oh, that was it. So the last couple times that we've done this, and especially when we were in person the day after Christmas, like I was responsive to you, like I was talking light language back to you, but this time I was just receiving. Like I was like kind of like, and maybe because there were so many people in my house or whatever, like and I was just like, so I was just receiving it, and it just was, I was just taking it in rather than like being in dialogue with you about it, which was awesome. So
good, excellent.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what I got.
Yeah.
I got that this is the restoration of an original divine blueprint, the restoration of a code that will allow the body to more easily absorb the increased frequencies and make ascension easier.
That makes sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's excellent. It really kind of ties back into the DNA and the original blueprint, because I know in the only lifetime that I've actually remembered or have some memory of, it was that my being like held the original DNA, human DNA, like concealing it, like hiding it, so it would not be taken. So I know all the codes, or a lot of the codes that come through, are a part of our DNA restructuring. So that makes a lot of sense, our original blueprint. And our original blueprint, I think, is being enhanced because of all the changes. So that's why with the elementals and stuff, connecting back into them, but in this new energy and this new mother lode technology that is pulling it all together, so we can fully switch on our DNA. Thank you, Cynthia. That was great. Anybody else?
You know what?
go
I
ahead.
just have an observation.
Yeah.
It makes sense if you have that memory and it's tied into your mission right now.
Mhm.
It completely makes sense that you would be, because you're genetically, literally related to this, that you would be the messenger or the envoy for this information.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
So, Christy, what I experienced during the images that you put up was, it felt like kind of like energetic waves that I felt mostly in my head and not so much in my body, but which I thought was interesting.
Uh-huh.
And then when you were speaking the light language, I envisioned either Mother Earth or an Earth Mother kind of placing her hand on my forehead and speaking it to me. And then at the end, I remembered that I think it was the previous call, I actually felt like there was a hand on my forehead.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd forgotten that, but so it's interesting that that kind of came back around again. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it just felt so powerful.
Interesting. So it's like, I know it's mother energy, and I want to say primordial mother, but it's also Mother Earth. It's like Sophia, it's Mother God. It's so much of the mother. I can't even, I don't know exactly, and I don't know that there is an exact to know, but it's the very, very divine feminine, for sure. And I think also, Paul, when we've gotten our groups and stuff, there's always something earth related that comes through from you, or that you gather when.
Right. I think with
working
you,
together.
something that came through for you was like Pachamama or something.
that's
like
right.
that, which I don't know much about her. I just know that name, but I don't
That's-
know why that came up.
Yeah, that's Mother Earth. Yep.
So you and that connection with the earth, I don't know, I feel it through you.
Yeah. Yeah.
somehow.
And
I think it's what it is.
So it all makes sense with the and sometimes you just like talking it out and getting things coming together with everybody's feedback. But our connection back into her, because that's what we went away from when we left our hearts. We went away from the elemental body, or the body elemental, which was away from the mother earth, her elements, everything that created us. So this was pulling us back in through this technology, through our cellular structure, which is through the DNA within our cells. So it's coming back to our mother, basically.
There's a lot going on behind my comprehension of it, and I'm just accepting and receiving it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, anything that you get, because there's so much, and for everybody's it's different, but it's the same. I mean, it's all, it's all, it's all good, whatever it is.
All good.
All good.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Anybody else?
In the beginning, I had a feeling on the whole spine, and later there came a feeling over me, like a sadness, a deep sadness.
Mm.
When you move to another place, where you have been very long and you had to move.
Oh, wow.
That
Yeah.
kind of feeling came over me.
Do you think, Ali, that had to do with, the different lives and maybe even leaving behind something that, we think we're connected to, but yet it's what we need to part from?
One of the slides, I want to tell you the first time, I think it was the first slide. Then the words came to me, back to basic, back from where we came.
Yeah. Back from where we came. That's exactly right. Full circle. We're back.
Yes.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah, the image with all the lines.
Yeah.
In the middle, in the center.
Interesting. Interesting. Wow. That's great. How about Martine?
She felt your heart, huh? Yeah. She felt the heart in the.
Yeah. Big heart opening.
The people also talked about the heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Energies.
So there was something else I remembered that, that image that I'm so drawn to of yours, of the heart. with
Alchemy.
the-
Alchemy.
Yes,
Yeah.
with the like fascia and
Yeah.
and so we've started to, when we work in the grid, go to what we call the heart of the grid, the heart center of the grid. And so that's kind of the image that comes to mind. And we're working there today, and then really focusing on the heart and the love frequency and 528 hertz, and it all kind of like intermingles.
Sure.
I don't know why I was just saying that, but it was like the message. I was interested to see what you would come up with tonight, based on like what the conversations we were having and like other conversations that I was hearing of, like, is it really like, are we all getting the same kind of message? And we are, it's all about like, it's very heart centered, and this is our access point, or our that's
Our
not the right word
connection.
for it, but it's our connection to everything.
It is our connection. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so I just wanted to share that.
Yep. Thank you.
Anybody else? Anything?
Yeah, I do.
Hang on one second.
All right.
Hi, I'm Ezra.
Hi.
One of the things that kind of like came through, because I haven't had anyone speak light language to me until now, and it made me realize that I've spoken light language in my past, because I was in Mexico and I had like a really spiritual mushroom trip, and during that trip though, I started speaking a different language that I've never heard of. And you were kind of speaking to me. It made me realize that's exactly what I was speaking. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, that was cool. Thanks.
Cool. Excellent. Well, it certainly could activate that with people that know they have done it before and have forgotten, but it's all memories coming back. Anybody else?
Hi, this is Ted.
Hi, Ted.
Yeah, so when you were speaking that light language, that's the first time I ever heard that language. But I had my eyes closed and I felt like my body and my cells understood what you were saying, parts of it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like it was okay to hear it. And, my thoughts at the time of hearing it was that a part of me was understanding.
Yeah, that's great. And it sounds like you were understanding it in terms of your cells feeling it, because it was that technology that was, going through your body. That's really cool. Very cool. Lovely. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share? All right. Okay, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining. Probably something next month too. So we'll see what comes through. But we're in some amazing times right now with the energies, and everybody's like holding on to their hats right now with everything. Experiences and just so much excitement. I don't know about you guys, but I'm extremely excited. Between, you know, have a little fear here, a little anxiety here, you know, there's all the excitement. But yeah, it's really exciting. And one of the biggest things for me is connection, that we are connecting. And this for me it's an activation for everybody. The more we connect, I mean, this was our plan to come back to, you know, I guess over the last 2 years, that's been happening much more than in the past, but we're at that turning point, I guess. Right. And Shauna, you probably have with what's come through for you with kind of where we are. If you can maybe want to.
Sure. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we are the GFL has told me, Galactic Federation of Light, that February, March, and April will be some of the strongest energies coming onto the planet ever, and it's going to take us a few months to even integrate these energies. So this is an important day. This is an important time. You know, and some of the other stuff I follow, Paul Selig and Melchizedek, you know, it's time to take the training wheels off. We're really ready it's go time. It's pivot time. These energies are really helping us drudge up some of the deepest shadows within us so we can finally see them, deal with them, and move on. It is absolutely pivot time right now for all the light workers on the planet who have come here to help with this ascension and, you know, anchoring this energy. We're all beacons, we're all light workers, we're way showers, or we would not be on this phone call, you know. So just accept that about yourselves. There's nothing by accident. And Christy, what you're doing with this light language, it's just one of many tools available to us right now, the light codes. So just take it all in, guys, and if the stuff's coming up, embrace it, bring it up, make it happen. It's a time for celebration that you were finally ready to do that and move past these things so we can really just be shining and be in love and be in non-judgment. And like the anxiety you're talking about, Christy, it's a fun anxiety, right? Mostly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, right?
Exactly.
We're mostly having fun here.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wish you all the best with this, and this will be really nice for me, especially kind of moving into the next couple of months. This feels really good.
Yeah, little integration. Yeah, definitely feel that coming in. Okay, well, thank you all for joining again. Appreciate it.
Thank you
Good times,
so much, Christy.
good times.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Great to see everybody again.
Love to
Yeah, that was awesome.
Love
Thank
to
you. Love.
Thank you, Christy.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Ciao.
Thank you. And Jules, I love that kid, whoever that kid was that
All
taught.
right.
The mushroom kid.
I love